Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. A very cold and very wet MadWorldTarot. We're having a last hurrah of winter, and it is quite loud outside when the rain pours down, so I might have to do some shouting, and also shouting over Tessa's snoring. She's under a blanket and she is having a big sleep. I have the after tarot on the tarot table today because the D word is back in the news, the divorce word. And it seems as if Harry and Meghan are briefing against each other through the press, which is rather amusing. And so we're going to look at two little stories that have popped up with the D word in them. The first one seems to be a Harry plant in terms of story, because it says, the Duke of Sussex is desperate to reunite with his father Charles, but it could mean the end of his marriage to Meghan. Now, noticeable in this heading is that the Duke of Sussex is given the Duke of Sussex as his title, but Pa is just Father Charles, not King Charles III. And even worse, Meghan is not the Duchess of Sussex, but just Meghan, and she's spelt with a lowercase m. So I'm fairly confident with my sleuthing skills. I feel like I'm back at school doing comprehension tests, but with my sleuthing skills, I'm fairly confident that the author of this piece is in fact the Duke of Sussex himself. So it goes on to mention those infernal olive branches and how many he has lobbed in the direction of Pa and Will's recently. And he's willing, so desperate is he to make some kind of deal with Pa and Will's at this point, that he's willing to exclude Meghan entirely, if that's what it takes. He realizes that they hate her with a passion. Does he really realize that? But he's hell-bent on a reunion. He's willing to fly to the UK tomorrow, if that's what it takes, without Meghan. And he understands that this could lead to divorce, but he's choosing his family over his wife. Ooh, the burn. So, we're going to have a quick look. We're going to do a 6-card reading. We're going to ask about Harry as the author of this little hit piece, and what game he's playing, and how desperate is he really to reconcile with Pa. We're reminded again that Pa doesn't have long on this earth in this piece. And then we're going to ask if he really does grasp the level of animosity towards Meghan Markle. The article says hates her with a passion, which I find quite interesting. Possibly it has been that hates her with a passion at this point, although he's careful to say much as he... does he use the word love? I can't remember. It was a sickening piece, and I, tried to blot it out of my mind as quickly as possible. But we're going to ask that. We're going to ask how willing he is to chuck her under a bus in order to reconcile with his billionaire Pa and his billionaire brother. And then we're going to ask, is he trying to soften the ground for divorce news from himself? Because it does tell us, and I left out this particularly unpleasant little tidbit in this article, that Harry has told her to get off her high horse and have a heart, because, as I said, Pa doesn't have long for this world. And so it's all Meghan's fault. She's the one being unreasonable. She's the one holding him back from reconciling, because they hate her with a passion. And so she needs to have a heart and get off her high horse. And so it's all her fault. And then divorce. That's how I'm reading this. So, and let's remind you, 6-card reading. This is, of course, just tarot, and it is for fun and entertainment, and it is all my opinion and all wild speculation. And I just read energy of stories like this that I personally suspect that Harry has planted in the press, and of course It is, as I say, just energy reading. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Let's see. After Tarot. What does the After Tarot have to tell us about this little story? And yeah, that's the underlying energy. It's the Nine of Wands, and it's in reverse. There they are, the two of them, the has-beens, the parkles, the twerkles, whatever you want to call them, wounded, battered and bruised, reaching the end of whatever it is, their defiance campaign. And no longer able to withstand the blows because the card is in the reverse. So battered, so bruised, so bloodied that they really can't endure much more, and it's basically collapse time for them and for their little campaign against the royal family. In fact, quite a large campaign. And so, yeah, all fall down energy in that Nine of Wands. Harry, desperate. Yes, that's a desperate energy in that Nine of Wands. Absolutely desperate to reunite with his father Charles, who he cannot call king, but he can call himself the Duke of Sussex, the desperate Duke of Sussex. Heart of the matter, what are we dealing with? Oh, reconciliation, the Five of Swords, and it's in reverse, the fighting card, the conflict card, the win at all costs card, the hollow victory card, it's in reverse, ready to reconcile, but only on his terms, of course, in my opinion. So let's look at what game he is playing. As I say, I personally believe that Harry is the author, or I don't think he is capable of being an author. So I think Harry is the force behind this hit piece. So let's have a look at what game Harry might be playing. Just generally, we're asking because, you know, inquiring minds, Ace of Cups, there it is. Those are the olive branches, the piece, you know, the dove. It's been launched across the ocean from Montecito or New York, where I personally believe Harry spends most of his time, or even Botswana, or wherever he's hanging out, San Francisco, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Ace of Cups, it's, I won't say apology, because he's never going to apologize, is he? But an offer of, here's my heart. This article says he's choosing his family over his wife. Now, his wife is actually his family, as far as I understand marriage. Perhaps I got it wrong. Well, I did. Anyway, never mind that. But he's choosing his birth family over his wife. There it is, Ace of Cups. Here I am making this large gesture. See, I will leave her behind at home and I'll fly instantly. Just say the word and I'm on a plane. In that Ace of Cups, that dove is flying. Flying, flying, flying. And the M is upside down in this card. How interesting is that? So, how desperate is Harry to reconcile? I'm getting quite desperate energy here already. Nine of Wands in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse. He's lost, really. And then the big Ace of Cups. Here is my heart. How desperate is he to reconcile? Oh, Strength card in reverse. Brand Sussex is done. It's dead. There they are. The Leo and the Virgo. And they are, yeah, they're in their decline and fall phase of the thing at this point. And so he's in a very weak place. Strength card in reverse. Weakness, illness even, all falling apart. And rather pitiful, rather pathetic. It's a major arcana, of course. And yeah, he needs something to save him from the collapse of Brand Sussex and possibly financial ruin as well, even though it's not a financial card particularly, the Strength card. So tell us about this hate her with a passion thing that is mentioned in this article, and does he get it? What's that about? Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that's a Catherine card, and I think he does get that Meghan's hatred, jealousy, resentment, whatever you want to just call it, aimed at the poor Princess of Wales, who is the Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn woman, earth sign. There she is. She's in reverse. All those attacks on the Princess of Wales have led to tremendous animosity towards Meghan from Prince William, of course, in particular, but I think also King Charles thinks, what on earth are you doing? Because I do think King Charles actually genuinely loves Catherine, and I think that their cancer diagnosis brought them together even more. So not clever, not smart to go all out attacking the Princess of Wales, because there have been repercussions. There they are with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That's how I'm reading that energy. That's what the tarot is telling me as an energy reader. So let's move on to how willing is Harry to chuck his wife under a bus to achieve this Ace of Cups, this reconciliation, this new phase in his relationship with Pa and Wills. Ready to blame her for everything? Oh yes, Chariot, absolutely. Chariot is drive and getting your own way and achieving your goals. Pushing forward, absolutely. The pushing forward is, sorry, the snoring is really out of control at this point. The pushing forward, all Harry wants is to get there to that Ace of Cups, because he's a desperate man. D is for desperate in this case. And so, yeah, I said chuck her under a bus. There's the bus. The Chariot is going to drive right over her. Bouncy, bouncy, ga-ding, ga-ding. That's, it's a bit like the house falling on the witch. And you just see the shoes sticking out at the end of it all. That's what I'm getting with the Chariot. And so, is the ground being softened for a divorce? It was all I could do. I had to choose, and Pa is so ill. And I told Megs have a heart, but Megs wouldn't have a heart. Megs doesn't have a heart. There's the has-been's heart being offered to the royal family, but not really a heart. In my opinion, it's a begging cap, but that's just my personal opinion. Are we being readied for some sort of a thing? I think we are, because we have the Seven of Pentacles and it's in reverse, and that person is taking their pentacle under their arm and they're setting off away. And the Seven of Pentacles is 7 years, and the marriage has lasted 7 years, 7 years of bad luck, one could say. And it's realizing, when the card is in reverse, that the effort, or if there's been effort, I doubt there has been, but the investment in the marriage and the relationship, the time spent together, I think that counts as effort. In Harry's case, the time spent pretending to be together, in my opinion, is now over. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's time to take that pentacle and walk away. It's coming. My opinion, it's coming, until she reels him back in. But there we are. It's quite a juicy little reading for me as a tarot reader. Sorry I had to shout over the snoring. We're going to read Meghan's little hit piece next.